Hello again. We're going to go through a few multiplication problems with polynomials. We'll start with some simple monomial times a binomial here at the top. Binomial times binomial, and the whole key is that we're going to use the distributive property for each of these examples. So the first thing is you'll multiply the 2x times the x, which gives you a 2x squared, using our multiplication properties for exponents and like bases. Then you'll take the 2x times a 3, but you're going to keep that minus in front of it. And we'll just write that as a minus 6x. Since 2x times 3 is 6x with a minus in front of it. And that's our answer. You can't, notice these are unlike terms, so you can't add them together. You're finished. Let's do this next one. This time we're going to multiply the first time here, this whole first factor, which is 2x y squared times this x squared y. That's going to give us 2x to the third y to the third. And then you'll repeat that, multiply by this next term. There's a minus in front. This is a positive. Consider this to be a positive 2 times a negative 2x. You can treat it as a negative sign or as a minus. Anyway, we'll have a 4, we'll have x squared, and a y squared. Notice that the y squared stays because there's no y over here to make it increase to a y, to anything higher than the 2. And this is our answer. These are unlike terms, can't be added. Okay, now I'm going to throw in one more here just to show you that we can do bigger problems. Let's say you have this one, a squared minus ab plus a b squared, and that's all times ab. So we will distribute once, twice, 3 times, or 3 multiplications. This first one will be a to the third b. The next term will be a minus a squared b squared, and the next term will be plus a b to the third. And notice all unlike terms, so you don't do anything else, you just stop. Now this next one, we're going to do the same way, but instead of having, you have to treat this as the quantity that's being distributed across these two. So there'll be 1 multiplication, 2 multiplications. This whole x minus 2 times each of these. So it's 2 multiplications. Now, you can write that, and I will for this first time. I'm going to have an x times that x minus 2. Okay, I wrote it backwards. And then plus a 4 times that x minus 2. So it's been distributed over the x and the 4. Then each of these has to be done separately. Another distributive property in action here. Okay, and 4x minus 8. And then if you have any like terms, we put them together. We notice we do have a couple that match, and we can write them like this. Okay, now you can do it like this, and this works, and sometimes is useful, but you can also just take it one step at a time, distribute this x across both of these in the same step. So in other words, I'll have x times x squared, which is an x cubed, and then I'll have x times a plus y, which is a plus xy. Then I'll move to this other term and distribute that twice, once here and once there. So the first one would be a minus x squared y, and the next term would be a minus y squared. And now I've finished. I have 4 terms altogether. Now what you notice about these is there are no like terms, so we're actually done with this problem. We don't have any like terms. So let's see, what else do we have here? Where is that? Okay, let's see it. Okay, I was looking for that pointer, but I don't see it anywhere. Okay, well, anyway, let's do this next one here at the bottom. We're going to have here it is. Okay, we're going to have to distribute once, twice, 3 times for that first x, and then we'll also have to do this minus 2 once, twice, 3 times. Okay, so everything in the first factor gets multiplied by everything over here. Each term times each term over here. Every term here times every term here once. So then it's just a matter of bookkeeping to keep track of it. So we're going to go x times x squared is x cubed. Then we're going to do, in fact, let me go back to that color scheme that I had. We'll kind of get rid of that now. Okay, so I'll do all these green arrows will be in green. So I'll have an x cubed, then I'll have minus 3x squared, and then I'll have finally x times 1 is a plus 1x. Then I'll move to the red here. Okay, and negative 2 times, treat that as a negative 2 times an x squared minus 2x squared. Notice where I put it. Paired it up with this one right underneath it. Next one, negative 2 times a negative 3x is a plus 6x. It fits underneath this one because it's the same term, same type of term. So I'm lining up the like terms whenever possible. Then I have negative 2 times 1, which is just a minus 2. I'll write it out here. Now if you notice, you can kind of do the vertical arithmetic here. Our final result is just going to be this x cubed. Adding these together makes a minus 5x squared. And adding these makes a 7x. And then, of course, this minus 2 is all by itself with nothing to combine. And that's our finished product. All terms have been combined. So, okay, that's a quick lesson on multiplying polynomials.